Conspired Championship Wrestling Breakdown. SCW announcer jam.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, I am Jam, and this is SCW Breakdown, the official podcast of Superior Championship Wrestling. Now, before we get started, on behalf of SCW management, I would like to apologize to my guest here. If you've seen our most recent edition of SCW Confidential, our July edition of SCW Confidential, I got a little carried away. Let's say that. Got a little carried away with our talent, and it didn't work out in my favor. I was viciously attacked by one Father Marquis and my guest here today, but I had no business getting up and getting in the face of the members of our roster. So I would like to apologize to our guest here today, a former 3-time heavyweight champion and a current participant in our SCW tournament, SCW heavyweight title tournament, going into September 13th and the 14th at Troy Days, Mr. Chuck Cole. How are you doing, Chuck Cole?
I'm vicious. Ain't nobody viciously attack you.
I beg to. I was hair over the head with the collection plates.
I didn't see that. All I saw is you poking me in my chest, and then you hit the ground.
You didn't see it. It was right in front of you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You did something that you weren't supposed to do. Stuck your nose on something that you wasn't supposed to do, and you start poking me in my chest, and hey, rest is history. Should have gave at the office. You know, we warned you about that.
Well, on behalf of SCW management, I need to check my biases at the door, as I was told, and not be confrontational with wrestlers like yourself. So I am sorry, and I think it's best that we move on. So let's move on to my first question, sure. Chuck Cole.
Well, before we get started, I do have a question, Jam.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been hearing wonderful things about, what you call it, the jam session?
Yes.
Okay, so I've been hearing wonderful things about this. And in time after time after time, I am scratching my head like, why am I not a guest on your jam session? Why does it take Father Marquis baptizing you for me to finally get on your jam session?
In fairness, I didn't think that you wanted to be on our jam sessions or on the podcast. We've had some confrontations in the past. Let's not forget at the high school, you tried poking my chest. I got on the apron. I ended with me getting pushed off, almost dislocating my ankle. So after that, I didn't think you'd want anything to do with me.
Wait,
so.
Hold on. What are you talking about? See, you're always telling the crowd to hate me.
I never told anyone to hate you.
You called me a cheater. You said I was a liar. I said I was no good. I was a bad influence. What else? I was a poor role model for the kids. What? Could I keep going?
You can keep. You're on the roll. You're on the roll.
I
you
mean,
can keep
you
going.
said all this, man. Look. Chuck Cole always when it comes to being able to talk, I always want to get in front of the camera and do what I do.
Okay, well, let's start there. If Chuck Cole is not a liar, he's not a cheater, he's not a dirty, rotten scoundrel, who is Chuck Cole?
The best. I'm the best, baby. 3-time SCW champion. I've held titles and other. And need I say that one half of the baddest tag team of all time in the Midwest. See, a lot of people don't talk about that because my brother and I don't show that side of us. But if we had to, oh no, those tag belts that the congregation has, we'll have them if we wanted.
Okay, that's strong words for, I guess, view you as something of an affiliate to the congregation ever since this alliance with Father Marquis took place. And it seems like even after Christmas in June, even after you admittedly lost at Christmas in June, this alliance is still going. So
we were robbed. And I won't say an alliance, it's just an agreement, a peace agreement.
Okay.
It's not an alliance. It's just that we kind of see an eye to eye on certain things. And there's still things that we need to do, like deal with Jon'tae Kieth and that scoundrel, Brandon Hudson. And in a sense, Rob Wolchek, but the old man won't get in the ring again. I mean, he's one and done. But there's still some things that we need to take care of. But right now, we're seeing eye to eye. So everything's peaceful.
Okay. Well, if I'm Rob Wolchek, I'd be one and done too after I got my win over you. But that's neither here nor there.
Hold on, wait. Jam, you are supposed to be a journalist. You're supposed to tell the truth. Did it take 3 men to pin me? Yes or no? Yes or no?
3 men did pin you.
Right. It took three. It took three.
But you did introduce a man who was not in the match, your brother, Big Rookie. And
No. That was Jason Crawley's fault. See, Jason Crawley is out here whining and complaining that I saw that he came into the studio drunk, mad at management because he's not the head referee. Well, Jason Crawley watched Rob Wolchek kick Father Marquis between the legs. He saw he illegally threw Father Marquis off of the top ropes. He illegally hit Father Marquis in the head with his own championship belt, which allowed Jon'tae Kieth put him through the table. Now, he saw all of this. Big Rookie just came out and did what he's supposed to do.
In fairness, John Carly couldn't do any officiating during a lot of this because you and your partner you were aligned with handcuffed him to the outside of the ring.
No. We didn't handcuff him. Whatever took place between Big Rookie and Jason Crawley, that's between those two. Apparently, Big Rookie didn't like the job that Crawley was doing and the unfairness that he was showing. He's very biased against those. So, what took place is that, again, what Big Rookie did is between him and Jason Crawley. It got nothing to do with me and Father Marquis.
Well, that is your brother. You could tell him to cool out.
No. Look, I had nothing to do with that. I didn't know Big Ricky was coming down and interject himself as the referee. So, and as you saw, once he came and started calling it down the middle, we were dominating the match.
You used the numbers game to your advantage, from what I understand.
Numbers game? It's a 3-on-2. How is it a numbers game? Big Rookie just he called a match down the middle. He disallowed all the cheating that they were doing.
I don't know if he called it down the middle. There were a few slow counts. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay, all right. You say tomato, I say tomato. Okay. We had to go back and watch. Matter of fact, you know what? I think, Jam, one of these where we need to have a viewing party so that we can both, you and I, sit down and go over what took place in that match.
I would love to do something like that.
You can see, since you're the journalist, so you can see what took place.
I am Jam the journalist, so I will journal. I will document and journal if we do that. But speaking of your brother, you both kind of entered the wrestling space together, if I'm not mistaken, 29 years ago. So what did get you into wrestling?
I mean, we were kids when we would always act like we were the Road Warriors, or so I think, especially back then, Road Warriors had a fuse with the Koloffs, Ivan and Nikita Koloff. But no, just as a kid, we're always fascinated by wrestling. So he, he's always been he's the weightlifter, martial artist. I was the sports guy, basketball, play basketball, play baseball. But it was just something as kids that we've always wished, we wanted to do. He actually started training before me. I was still in the midst of dealing with baseball stuff, and he started training, and he would come home, and I would always be fascinated. Hey, what happened here? What did you do today? And it's like he was telling me, what he was going on, what he was doing, and then, finally after a month, I called the trainer up and say, hey, Brian's brother, yada yada yada. Introduced myself. He told me, when to come because we trained over at what is this school over in Canada? I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but Windsor is famous over there now. But yeah, we went over there. Irish Mickey Doyle, and rest was history.
Okay. And when you did start your training and whatnot, it seems you kind of developed a lot of that training into becoming a trainer yourself and mentoring many members of the SCW roster, including your opponent at Christmas in June, Jon'tae Kieth. So I want to know, like, what kind of turned you into just a natural mentor to kind of wanting to train the next generation of superstars?
Well, I won't say wanting to train. It's just more so. I'm a natural coach. Anybody that knows me away from wrestling, I coach baseball. So I'm a coach. But then, the time that we were blessed to spend, whether we were in WWE rings doing dark matches. A lot of times we're more so behind the scenes where they didn't use us that particular day, but it was still we're paying attention to what was going on, who was doing what, and so when you're there, and then like for me, when you see guys that potentially have talent, and then you see guys that are training that have no business. And I would say no business training anybody in this business. Like, you kind of scratch your head. So, you pull young guys aside and say, hey, this is what you need to do and how you need to do it in order to get here. Because I think, like, one thing about this business, Jam, is that I think a lot of guys get in this business to think like they temporary rock stars. Like, they got no aspirations to go to the big time because they just doing it just to be doing the saying that they're doing it. But when those that say that they have aspirations to go to one of the big three, they just kind of move different. They carry themselves differently. It's a more maturity level. So, okay, those are the ones that I don't mind sharing information with and trying to train. I want them to get better because you can see, okay, on the long run, they got a chance to do that, to get in front of folks. Because I tell you, especially now, it is so cutthroat. And if you don't know somebody to kind of help these young folks get in front of, certain people, it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Okay. Well, it's very commendable that you're looking out for the young talent on the roster. I never knew you had such a soft side to yourself. One can say you were a big fat softie. I would never say that.
Wow.
But so
big fat softie?
Listen, I would never say it. I'm remaining unbiased, but some people may say it when they hear nice things about yourself.
Who is some people?
I have to recheck my sources on that, but
wow. Big fat softie. Okay. All right. Okay.
But sticking on you talking about the younger generation and coaching the young generation, where are some standouts in the SCW roster that you feel like are destined for greatness? You think?
I mean, I always have to say Father Marquis, definitely Maximilian, but I'd say Marquis, Daniel Wolf. Wolf is, well, I'll just say this because each individual they have their good points, but I would say Marquis, Daniel Wolf, anyone gives him a chance. Johnny Go, you got I love Dean Hendricks, like oh man, love Dean Hendricks. You got Celeste Taylor. Man, who else? I know I'm leaving some guys out. No, the congregation, those dudes, man. Like, I don't know if you got a chance to see like the latest videos that they put out, but those, the charisma and the things that they're doing, they got a chance. Joseph Santonio Guerrero, he's fresh into business, and he just, the thing with him is he just needs some he just needs a little bit more time in the ring. But just to be so young, he's going to be good. He's going to be good. So, the Den. Love the Den. They kind of remind me of my brother and I when we first got started. I love the Den. Jon'tae Kieth. But, Jon'tae is getting to that stage where he's been around a while. So, but he's always like, you know, whoever he gets in the ring with, he's gonna have a damn good match. You know, but those guys there, you know, if you put them, you give them a chance to get in the ring in front of the right people. Yeah, they should get signed. They should get signed. I can't forget King Kong Coleman. Like Coleman coming from the MMA background. He's still young. I think he has been in the business maybe a year, but he brings a different aspect to it. But and then the ladies. I mean, I can tell you, like I know that we haven't seen her in a while. Heather Blue, she could go. You know, a former champion, Sabrina Kyle. Sabrina's a vet. She's been all over the country, all over the U.S. She could easily, you know, be wrestling in one of the big three, like right now. You know, Revna, I love Revna. But you know, I'll say this: the two young ladies that I give so much praise to, and they have been in the business less than a year, is Leela Hall and Ricky Morris. Those two young ladies, when they first did their match in the women's tournament last September, they to me, that was my vote of the match of the year until we saw at last year's Winter Mania, that ladder match. Then the very next day, they were in a ring putting on a, you know, potentially match of the year. So I definitely, and especially like the way Leela, you know, Leela is starting to let that personality come out. You know, she's a former cheerleader and track star, so she's showing that athleticism. And then like, you know, Ricky, she's just different. You know, I can't say enough about those two. You know, it's like when I see them in the ring doing stuff, I kind of look back because we gave them, you know, their first shot. And it's kind of like when I see them perform, it's like I feel like a proud dad watching them like develop and continue to grow. So like when Ricky won the ladies championship, I was proud. I wanted to, you know, I was there. I wanted to see her reaction and everything. So yeah.
I can tell you seem like a proud dad right now talking about all these young people.
Oh yeah. So, you know, I enjoy watching them, even though, you know, I still enjoy competing with them is just as much. But I mean, I'm gonna say this, and I'll be the first. I'm going on record to say, Winter Mania this year will be it for me. That'll be it. That'll be. You know, I'm not going. People will say, "Oh, you know, you can go for 30." No, I'm not going to 30. It'll be 29 and a half years then. Winter Mania 2024 will be it for me.
Is it just time, or what made you come to that decision?
Just time. Like, look, I'm healthy. You know, I take care of myself, but it's just I'm getting to a point now where I want to. I get more out of seeing the young folks do what they do. You know, and watching them develop and have fun. Like I'm gonna have my fun, but I've had my fun. I've done a lot of stuff through the years, pissed off a lot of people, you know, beat up a lot of people too. But
Yeah, I wonder who.
Well, I mean, you know, when people poking you in the chest, man, they mysteriously get knocked down on the ground. But that's a whole different another comment.
Well, while you are still here, before you do decide to retire, you have the SCW tournament to look forward to. And that's going to be happening at Troy Days between September 13th and September 14th. You're one of the competitors. Some of the names you listed are going to be competing in that match. So I want to ask you, going into this tournament at number 3 in our power rankings, I know I had an issue with that, confidential, but you're number 3 on the power rankings.
I don't see why I'm not number 1.
Losing at Christmas in June would do that to you, but you know that's. I'm only documenting the journalism I've done. You know,
three
Mm-hmm.
people pin me. Three people pin me illegally. So okay, all right, whatever. You know, but I'm 3-time SCW champ.
That's true. So, with that in mind, what are you willing to do to get that 4th if you can get that fourth SCW championship.
I'm not willing to do. You crazy? Man, I'll cut your leg off and hit somebody over the head with it. Man, I'm doing any and everything. I will be four-time SCW champion.
Okay.
Guarantee that.
Okay, so if you're willing to do any and everything, that kind of does sound like you're willing to cheat, like a cheater, like some critics are calling you.
Now, whoa, cheat. That's a very strong word, strong allegation. I mean, I don't cheat.
Okay.
I don't cheat. You know, I mean, I just work the rules in to benefit me. So that's all that is.
Well, seeing you work the rules up close and personal, I've seen you low blow people behind the referee's back. I've seen you claim that someone's hit you with a chair when they did no such thing when the referee turned around. I've seen you doing finger pokes. You picked up ring bells, hit people over the head. You even hit Money Mike over the head with the ring bell when he had nothing to do with the match. So,
you know what, Jam? I'm sorry, man, but you really I'm gonna request the management to have them go test you.
Test
your
me?
memory, man. Your memory, man. You throwing stuff out there, and I don't know what you're talking about. First of all, I remember picking up a ring bell. I never hit anybody, never hit anybody.
That's footage.
No, I might have placed it down on somebody's back.
You didn't do it softly.
Like, I don't low blow anybody. I don't do anything behind
I've seen you do a few low blows.
Look here, Jam. Has the referee seen anything? No. See, boys and girls out there, I need you to understand something. It ain't cheating unless you get caught.
Okay. Well, if that is the case, then that kind of brings me to my next question. Going into our next show before Troy Days, we have SCW 313, August 24th. And so far, the only match that's been confirmed is the Women's Championship between champion Ricky Morris versus challengers Leela Hall and Lil Missy. But I have been hearing rumors that you may be facing the interstate champion Johnny Go. I don't know if that's going to be confirmed. I don't know if it's a title match, non-title. I'm still investigating that right now.
So this is supposed to be a part of the heavyweight championship tournament?
So from my understanding, the tournament is going to be at Troy Days, but this is going to be more of a preliminary, almost like a warm-up at 313.
Is that for the title? Is that for the...
That's what I'm trying to find out. Would you want it to be for the title? Would you want to go into the tournament?
Man, look, Johnny Go, man, that's easy work. What are you talking about?
Okay. I'm glad you said that, because that brings me to my next question. If you're not a cheater, then how do you defeat someone as decorated as the interstate champion?
Well, you need to ask Johnny, how does he defeat somebody like myself? A 3-time former SCW champion. Like, no, come on, man. I'm not worried about that.
I mean, he has a few decorated wins under his belt, including over King Kong Coleman. That's not an easy man to beat.
King Kong Coleman?
Yep. Your brother couldn't even beat King Kong Coleman.
No. We talking about me.
Okay.
I beat King Kong Coleman.
Okay. You have beat...
For a historian and a reporter, you need to go back up and go watch these matches.
Okay.
I've beat Coleman. I've beat Soul Taker. I've beat Onyx 2, 3, 5. I don't know how many times I done whooped up on Onyx. I done beat the Great Tiger. Great Tiger scared of getting me in the ring. You name it, I done beat everybody.
I'm actually glad you mentioned Onyx, because Onyx is, if you're number 3, he's number 1 on that power rankings.
Whoa, how is he number 1?
The last time we saw him, he took a loss at the Valentine show, but before that, he was the champion, and he actually beat you for that title, if I remember correctly.
Okay, yeah, he beat me for the title because he illegally threw me through a table, and I hit my head. So, but you need to understand that I beat him for the second time. When I won the belt the second time, he was one of the participants in the ring. I beat Onyx several times.
But how can you beat him again when he's this fresh? You've been wrestling since February, but he hasn't wrestled since February.
Well, he hasn't wrestled here since February. He's been wrestling, but no, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. I don't worry about Onyx.
Okay.
See, you got the rope-a-dope Onyx. You tire him out, get around the ring, have him chase you around. If you ever go, you gonna look. The night that he threw me through the table and stole my belt, I had him. Rope-a-dope him. So yeah.
Okay. We'll have to see when the tournament arrives.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you see. So what are you gonna do? 4-time, I'll become 4-time SCW champion.
What am I going to do? Well, I'm not going to get in the ring if that's what you're insinuating. Like,
No, man, come on, man. You saw what happened last week.
oh, so now you remember what happened last week.
No, I just saw you hit the floor, man. Come on now.
I mean, 1 second I'm poking you in the chest, the next thing it's blackout. So
Yeah, because that left got you.
that who's left?
I don't know, but that left got you.
It definitely wasn't your left, but
you sure about that?
I
Look here. I need to ask you, who out of the tournament, who's your favorite? Who you think is going to win?
who's my favorite?
Yes.
There's a lot of good picks. Me personally, I think a dark horse pick could be the man who beat you at Christmas in June, Jon'tae Kieth. No offense, but you want to talk about someone willing to do any and everything. He is very much a daredevil with a devil-may-care attitude. So he's willing to fly 20 feet in the air to get that heavyweight title. In the second episode of our podcast, I was saying you could be a future heavyweight champion, and I think that future looks all the brighter the closer we get to the tournament.
Man, the only way Jon'tae is a heavyweight is he put rocks in his pockets. He is not winning the heavyweight championship. As long as I got air in my lungs, he is not winning the heavyweight championship. Matter of fact, he either need to worry about Father Marquis.
Well, we'll see come September, and going into that September tournament, going into August 24th at SCW 3-on-3, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, 4-time SCW champion. 4-time SCW champion.
And
4-time SCW champion by any means necessary.
by any means necessary. You know what? SCW management be damned. I gotta say it because it's lines like that kind of just fire me up. Like, you are a liar and a cheater, regardless of what you say. Like, any bad word in the book, in the dictionary, is about you. You're a liar, you're a cheater, you're a dirty, rotten scoundrel. Kids don't like you, nobody likes you, Santa Claus don't even like you. You beat up Santa Claus annually. Who beats up Santa Claus every single year? Like,
He deserved it.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. You are a despicable human being.
Look here, little baby Stokely. Instead of harassing me, man, you need to start doing your job more better. I'm sick and tired of you bugging me. Now,
No.
you standing up on me?
I'm about sick of your right now.
Oh, you sick of me?
Stokely's the last straw. You want to go? We can go right now. Management be damned, podcast be damned. We can go. Come on now. Come on.
Oh, what, to the store?
Come on right there. You know what I mean? Come on.
Look here.
Come on.
I'm not going to get mixed up in your crap. It's going to cost me my shot at the title. Chump.
Oh, you're just going to harass me and walk away. That's... No, get... That was Chuck Cold, and this was SCW Breakdown.
This is Superior Championship Wrestling. Right now.
Thank you for listening to SCW Breakdown, the official podcast of Superior Championship Wrestling. You can subscribe to us on all podcasting platforms and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X at Superior Championship Wrestling to keep in touch for when the next episode of SCW Breakdown is set to release.